Hello, I'm Mitchell Milander. Thank you to my mentor, Steve Mantle, CEO and founder of Innovate Ag, for selecting me for this summer internship position. As well as I want to thank Freddie Valdovinos, a coworker who always checks in and is there to help me out, as well as my mentors, Data and Dr. Cott, for being here these 8 weeks to give me guidance, support, and answer my questions. A little bit about me. I'm a third year computer science student at Washington State University. The company I'm interning for, Innovate Ag, works to empower growers with data, introduce them to new technologies, as well as streamline their operations. And there's a heavy focus on precision agriculture. For this internship, I have met with growers to understand what hardships they have and how precision agriculture technologies can help them, as well as implement those technologies to come up with a solution that actually helps the growers. And ultimately, we do want to help growers. And with precision agriculture, we can do this because it allows us to no longer just see a crop from a bird's eye view, but zoom in to the plant level and provide variable amounts of treatment where needed. And part of assisting growers is understanding the issues at hand, like labor shortages, unpredictable weather, volatile price changes, as well as a lack of crop uniformity. For example, in tree B, look at all those apples, but in tree A, there's hardly any. We want to close that gap, and we can do that with precision agriculture to create more consistent yields across each row for the growers. The main precision ag technology platform I worked with during this internship is AgroManager. AgroManager is a farm management tool created by growers in Belgium, and the main application I use it for is to create a layout of the orchard. So I upload GPS data as well as tree characteristic data, and from there I can create what's called a task map, which you can think of as a recipe for the sprayer that tells the sprayer which trees to spray and what trees not to. So I mentioned tree characteristic data being imported into AgroManager. And AgroManager is really cool because it can take data from various sources. So as part of this internship, we are taking data from different companies to see how these data maps compare. So one company that we're receiving data from is Orient Imaging. We're working with Green Atlas, Outfield. Titan is a service provider of Outfield, as well as we are working with Vivid Machines. Orient Imaging is also a Dutch company founded by growers from the Netherlands, and their bread and butter is what you can see down in the corner. It's called the Tree Scout, and it goes on top of the tractor as you drive down the rows, and it can capture things such as blossom cluster count, fruit count, as well as tree vigor. And the data source it uses is RGB. Green Atlas is a company out of Australia, and their unit goes on the back of a side-by-side and takes pictures of each tree as it drives through the orchard. It measures blossom count, fruit count, bud count, color, and vigor using RGB as well as LiDAR. In addition to Aurea and the Green Atlas, we receive data from Outfield, which is a drone company that captures readings using RGB and multispectral imaging, as well as we receive data from Vivid Machines, which uses the same type of imaging, but their unit is a camera that goes on the back of an ATV. So once I received data from those companies, I was able to just upload it into AgroManager and see what it looked like. So the next few slides have pictures of what I created. Below is a map of the Zilla Smart Orchard with Array Imaging's blossom cluster count mapped out. And this is blossom count data from the Green Atlas. And lastly, we have Outfield and Titan's blossom count data. These rows are quite different from the other two data sets. Yeah, this is because mainly we are averaging blossom cluster count across every 7 trees. So slightly different method here. Like all software, it needs its hardware companion, and that's where the practical application comes into play. How do we take the data maps in AgroManager, then make the task maps, but get those task maps onto a control unit of a sprayer to actually perform variable rate spraying in the orchard? Here are a few different methods that I learned of. The first method that I learned with variable rate spraying is from Daniel Rowley in Caldwell, Idaho, who basically made his own variable rate spraying system. He put a John Deere Starfire on the front of the tractor for GPS. He has a Capstone ag box in the back that controls the variable rate spraying, and he did all the wiring himself. It was incredible to see his work. And from here, the focus is how do we get this into more hands of growers and come up with something a little more repeatable. But it was really cool to see what Daniel Rowley had in store to show us. In an effort to find something a little more repeatable, we can look at Red Ant, which is an equipment manufacturer out of South Africa, and they make this spray control unit here, where this red block is a U-Blox GPS unit, and this green component is where the task maps are loaded into, and it's a simple method for retrofitting an old sprayer, and it's affordable. So here is some work that we did at Keith Veselka's ranch to retrofit his sprayer. Below is an unmodified turbo mist sprayer. About a third of the way down, we cut the tube in two, add cam locks so that a solenoid valve on each side can easily be placed in there and taken out. And as you can see with the solenoid valve, there's wires coming out. Those wires correspond to the right hand spray controller. So the right solenoid valve goes to the right side of the spray controller. The left solenoid valve wiring connects to the left side of the right hand spray controller. And when you load the task map into the right hand spray controller and say it hits a polygon on the right side, it sends an impulse to that right solenoid valve and it turns on really quickly and sprays that area. And lastly, we have the Raven system for variable rate spraying. This is sold by New Holland. This is a robust system. It's expensive, but it's nice. It has a global navigation satellite system reachable through this RS1. The CR15 tablet is where the task maps are loaded. This is really top of the line. So we went from Daniel's, bootstrap version to Red Ant, which is something that more farmers could get into, and then the Raven, which is packaged from the plant for the grower to start using on day one. Please keep an eye out on the Agate Institute website for the deliverables of mine from this internship. Once I get the final go from my mentors, they will hopefully be published there. These deliverables include AgroManager task maps, user manuals to help Washington state growers better understand AgroManager, a WSU Fruit Matters article that is currently in the works, ground truth data that I collected with my mentor data at the Zilla Smart Orchard, and I also hope my mentor data install sensors at Rosa's Vineyard, as well as work on some irrigation there. In between those deliverables, I got to have some extra fun working around drones, seeing them fly autonomously around the vineyards, and helping set them up. Overall, this internship has been a wonderful 8 weeks. I really enjoyed meeting with the growers, hearing them speak about what was meaningful to them, working on new precision ag technologies that can really benefit Washington growers going forward. as well as having more experience around the software and hardware side of things, and connecting that to the ag space, which has been a dream of mine in recent years. So I'm really thankful for this opportunity, and I want to thank Ag Aid for really making this happen. Thank you.